All right, welcome back to another Hyundai Daily Driver video. Today we are on software 001.002.250.930. It doesn't look like there's been much, any updates. I'm actually curious. I've been seeing this update via USB. Anytime I kind of see that, you guys let me know in the comments. Does that mean there's an actual update ready? Like when I go ahead and click it, it makes me, want to connect via a USB-C cable, which I don't currently have on hand. But if that button pops up saying update via USB, could you guys let me know down in the comments? Maybe does that mean there's an update available, or is that just going to kind of always be there no matter what? With that said, let's go ahead and get our drive underway. It's going to be a lot of city driving to kind of begin with, so we're going to kind of see how Smart Cruise Control 2 and Highway Driver Assist kind of handle kind of in that type of city style environment. I know it's called Highway Driver Assist, but it can still be used for city driving if you need it to. It can sometimes be helpful when you're just sitting in traffic or wanting to be safe as well. So we'll go ahead and engage our lane center keep. As you can see, it just popped up on the dash. It's currently gray. And then we'll go ahead and engage Smart Cruise Control, even though it says our conditions are not met because I am currently braking. If you're not aware, Smart Cruise Control does not work if you are pressing on the brake. It actually disengages Highway Driver Assist, so that's something to keep aware of if you're looking to drive this for the first time. Something else that I noticed, I know I brought this up in previous videos, if you haven't seen them, is that this is the first time using heads-up display for myself, coming from a previous model, a 2023 Hyundai Tucson limited trim. Did not have the HUD for that version, but this 2025 model does have the heads-up display, which is super nice. And kind of when I was doing the test drives and first and second drives, it was kind of always cloudy and overcast out, so I never really needed sunglasses. Up until one of my previous drives, I kind of noticed for the first time is that once you put a pair of shades on, a pair of sunglasses that has the polarization, if your sunglasses are polarized, then it can kind of almost cut the heads-up display visibility, I would say, almost in half in a way. It's probably something to do with the polarization of your sunglasses and the reflection of the heads-up display being displayed onto your windshield. So that's something that I didn't really know coming into driving with the heads-up display for the first time. So if that's something that you guys didn't know either, maybe, or hopefully you found that information helpful as well. So we're going to go ahead and engage our Highway Driver Assist. We're currently at a distance of 1. We're going to change that to 2 just for some city driving. Go ahead and increase our speed. We do have a speed camera kind of coming up. That's something else that I've noticed on this version, and even on the heads-up display, it will show me, you can see, I don't know if you can see on camera, but right here is an actual speed camera. And I've been noticing on highways and even in the city as well, is that on the HUD, the heads-up display, it'll actually give you a nice little, it looks like a video camera, speed camera icon, and then it'll actually show you the distance to the actual speed camera. I don't know if that's pulling it in from Google Maps or the actual internal navigation system. If you guys know more about that, it'd be great if you could let me know down in the comments. But I know, like, when you're looking on Google Maps, you'll see the icon of a speed camera that's coming up, and it kind of just shows you where it is on the road. But what I kind of found really nice with the heads-up display is that it actually shows you, hey, it'll go from 0.5 miles to 0.4 to 0.3, all the way up to 500 feet, 300, 250 feet, 100 feet, all the way up until you're actually at the speed camera, so you know exactly where it is. Maybe if you don't have Google Maps pulled up, it'll show you directly on your heads-up display down to the actual feet of how close you are to the actual speed camera. So go ahead and re-engage our Smart Cruise Control 2. I can see kind of coming up, not this light, but the next one, it is a red light. So, as a human driver, I probably would be already be braking. Even with that, I think the system just did a fantastic job of kind of coming down to a smooth stop. I would say it's almost on par with a limousine stop, maybe not as quite smooth. I definitely still get a tiny little bit of head jerk on that final braking. Typically what I like to do when I'm coming to a red light or to a complete stop is, I'll try to slow down as smooth as I can, and then right when it's about to come to a complete stop, I actually let go of the brake just a hair, and it kind of just smoothens out the braking, and then I'll press on the brake to bring to a complete stop, and you get a much better braking experience. So right there, I don't know if you could see on the dash, I did get the warning of put your brake on the gas or the heads-up display button just to re-engage, because we had been at a complete standstill stop for a while. So I went ahead and used my foot and then re-engaged Smart Cruise Control with my foot. So right now we are using the Smart Cruise Control 2 and the lane center keep to keep us in. This is probably where I would personally slow down. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's actually slowing down on its own. Okay, nope. It kind of gave up on itself right there. That I had to kind of take over. I don't know if it could just not see around the corner itself, but you could clearly hear the collision warning coming on pretty early, which actually was kind of nice to hear that. Yeah, I'm not sure if the car just couldn't see around the bend. It originally, to me, it originally started slowing down on its own. I was going to manually press the brake, and then I actually felt the car start to slow down originally. And then I don't know if this car in front of me just got too far around the bend, but it actually started to speed back up. We'll go ahead and re-engage Smart Cruise Control here. Yeah, so that was kind of an interesting case. It originally started to brake and slow down for the car in front of it, and then I don't know if the car just got too far around or what the case was, but I could feel my car actually start to speed back up and try to get back up to speed, and that's when I think I was kind of pressing the brake manually, and the anti-collision warning were coming up kind of at the same time. So, manual, takeover there by me, as well as the car kind of recognizing that, hey, we're speeding up and there's a car slowing down or coming to a complete stop ahead of us. So, that was kind of a manual takeover there. This is the engagement I was saying on your display. It just says, use switch or pedal to accelerate. So you can either use the gas pedal to just kind of do a light tap, like I could do a light tap right here, and you can see it'll disengage that message, but we're still at a complete standstill. Or you can press this button over here just simply by clicking the button in. You don't have to go up or down, just click it in. So we're going to go ahead and car's taking off on its own. Very smooth start there. Felt very natural to me. We are going to have to get over here, so I'm going to go ahead and manually take over. And I'm just going to leave Smart Cruise Control off for a second, just because we're going to have to make another turn here. So you can kind of see, just to get an idea of where Smart Cruise Control, and not sure why we got that collision warning there. I was manually on the brakes and saw that car and was slowing down. But yeah, you can kind of get an idea of where you may see some benefits for the smart cruise control. And I just actually re-engaged it as we're stopped here. So right now my foot is off the gas, it's off the brake. We'll probably get some sort of warning to re-engage, but we'll see. I don't know, the light just turned green. But yeah, I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of what, what features you can kind of utilize when you're driving in the city, and kind of how things react to that. So you'll see here, this car is about to cut me off. My car did okay, slowed down. Everything felt natural, didn't feel jarring at all. I'm going to go ahead and disengage again just because we're going to have to be making a turn coming up. Not sure if this guy with his hazards on, looks like he is moving now. And trying to get over. So yeah, you can kind of get an idea, hopefully, of kind of where these different driving and safety features could become, useful when driving in the city if, you're trying to either get out or get into the city and there's maybe a lot of traffic and, just sitting in that standstill traffic, can get a little boring sometimes, and just having the ability to, engage the smart cruise control like I did just there, just kind of let the car kind of take over those little minor adjustments to the car can, I think, over time save you energy and, make it so you're not, fully utilizing all of your personal energy with, it may seem minimal, but, I think these, safety features are obviously a good to have, not relying on them 100%. See how the car handles here. Just as it turned green, I got the warning that I had to engage the gas pedal, so I went ahead and did that. And here we go. We're just going to be merging on to the highway here. So it'll be a quick kind of highway driver assist test here, but we'll go ahead and get up to speed. See how the car handles. Not much traffic on the road right now, leaving the city this early in the morning. Most people, as you can see, are coming into the city. But you can already see right there, the car just handled that pretty nice. It had noticed that there was this car in front of us who was going a little bit slower and reacted very naturally to its speed and readjusting my speed to kind of match its speed. We were at a distance 2. We'll go ahead and go back to that distance 2. I am getting off soon, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into this lane over here. Not sure, yeah, so still lane center keep is not engaged. I'm assuming just because this is a very tight turn right here. And I think actually the nav, the NAV, it looks like it's blinking in green. So I'm assuming that must mean that it's, utilizing its internal navigation to realize, hey, this is a pretty sharp turn coming up here. Maybe we should slow down a little bit. So I think that's what the car was kind of doing to compensate for that. So go ahead and get in front of this car, and then we're going to get over. I know this was kind of a quick highway driving experience, just getting on and then getting off quickly. But, here's another kind of prime example. This car is going a little bit slower, and, our car handled it pretty well, pretty natural, very smooth. One thing I will notice is that this car does a great job of heating up. It's pretty cold here this morning, 24 degrees it's reading right now. So having that blue link and being able to, start your car up remotely is pretty nice before you get in. The car. You can start it with your phone via the Blue Link app. Just having that ability to, get the car nice and toasty before getting in is just another added benefit, another feature that, it's one of the things that, you didn't know you needed until you have it. And then, once you go back to a car that doesn't have it, having to get in a freezing car for the first time and wait for it to heat up, it's something that you don't really notice until you have it and then have to switch back. So I went ahead and disengaged Smart Cruise Control just because we're off of the highway now. It can do a great job if there's a car in front of you and it has something to gauge off of, but it can kind of be difficult when it's just kind of driving on its own in the city. And if you're kind of getting up to speed and there's a red light way up ahead, so I can see I'll engage it right now. We're speeding up, so I need to press on the brake right there, just to kind of give you an example. Is that sometimes I can't see as far out as your human eyes can see. So go ahead and I'll re-engage it, just to see how we handle here. Gets up to speed, nice and smooth, nothing too jarring. I am manually steering here. I just don't know if the car can handle these roads. It does say the lane center keep it's on, but I can see that it's kind of popping on and off as well. So I do need to get over. Go ahead and see how we stop. Oh, it's not stopping again. So I'm manually pressing the brake there. We do need to get all the way over. Go ahead and re-engage Smart Cruise Control. Typically there's going to be a red light up here. We'll see if cars are stopped. We'll set the distance to 4. See if you can kind of see that there are cars, way out there. I can see they're stopped. The car is still, okay, it's slowing down. It's coming in a little hot. All right, so it did brake on its own. It did everything that it was supposed to do. There's one thing that I would, have to say is that it was coming into the red light a little hot. I could visually see, obviously, the red light. I don't know if the car can probably not see that, but I can at least visually see that there's cars stopped in front of me. So, I would have definitely let up on the gas and just kind of coasted up. See how it handles, the Smart Cruise Control handles around this. Yeah, see, I had to stop that right there. It was, it really wanted to speed up because it couldn't see kind of once that car in front of me did that 90-degree turn. It's like, oh, there's no car there anymore, and it kind of just speeds up quickly. So, that's just kind of one of the drawbacks of, it's not really designed for for city driving. It's really more for highway driving, but this is hopefully just to kind of give you an example of, the benefits and limitations of these current safety features and where they sit currently in these types of cars with their internal architecture build out. So we're coming up on our destination. We'll probably go ahead and end the video here. I know there wasn't as much highway driving, but I kind of wanted to give you guys an idea just of what these cars are capable of kind of in these types of driving environments. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, feel free to give the video a like, subscribe if you want to see any future videos. We do a lot of talking tech about this car in general, but just kind of tracking to see kind of how this car improves kind of over time and over the years since we purchased it. So if that's something you guys are interested, feel free to stick around for future videos, but if not, then I'll see you guys in the next video.